Hey friends, welcome to No Sleeves Garage. No sleeves today. So, yeah, today we are doing, we'll call it general maintenance, if you will, or troubleshooting. Maybe that's a better phrasing or terminology. But we are in the daily driver, the 2021 Ford Explorer XLT 2.3 EcoBoost. And I had a little situation, and well, it turned into a bigger situation. So I have had my Explorer for about 6 months now, and I love it. It's still an amazing, super comfortable vehicle, everything along those lines. If you've watched the video, it's great. It's pretty cheap on gas. It's moderately quick for what it is. It's comfortable, it's spacious. I can hold, realistically, probably 5 adults. It does seat 6, but the back row, the third row, is definitely a little bit cramped for someone over, I don't know, 5'5" or so. But here's my Explorer, and I've grown to love this thing. So in the time that I've owned it, which, like I said, is about 6 months, I have put 12,000 miles already on my Explorer. So to say that I drive a lot is not an understatement. I do drive a lot. Well, because it's a newer vehicle, everything along those lines, the previous owners, who were in Rochester Hills, Michigan, always took it to a Ford dealer for service. So I thought I would keep up with that tradition and just do it. Ultimately, can I do things myself? Absolutely. But 90,000 mile service, I wanted them to do the inspection, everything along those lines, and really just make sure that this car was good. And my experience was less than stellar. So it's not the dealership that I bought the car from. The folks that I bought it from, which is Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge, out on Georgesville Road, fantastic. They're great people. Honestly, they gave me service coupons. Like, my first oil change with them could have been free, but I was like, you know what? Let me take it to Ford and let me just make sure. With how much I drive, I wanted to be in line. Well, that was a mistake. So I'm not gonna throw the dealership that I went to under the bus, but they are on the west side of Columbus, and let's just say they're not on a hill. So you can use deductive reasoning if you want. Well, the way my service appointment went, it was it was a little lackluster when I arrived. Not even greeted. Like, I sat there for a while, not even able to get into the service bay. And a couple of people looked at me, but no one was like, hey, just a sec, anything. I don't know, maybe that's my inner Karen. So we'll take that as it is. But I wanted to do full synthetic change because of the fact that I drive a lot. I trust full synthetic oils just a little bit more, especially with the fact that these things recommend a 10,000 mile oil change. And I know newer oils are better and blah, 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 but I've dealt with some of the nightmares. I've seen some of the experiences. I mean, I've got a buddy who's running AMSOIL in his Toyota Sienna, and he's doing like 25,000 mile oil changes, but he's sending the oil off to be independently tested and so forth. I'm not 100% sure as to why he's sending it out to be tested, but it's still within parameters, which is pretty cool. So shout out to AMSOIL. Either way, wanted to do full synth. They neglected to do the full synthetic change. They gave me semi-synth, some of those things. I took a survey, didn't get a great score. I hate doing that. That's not my thing. They did offer to make it right. They said, hey, that was on us. We'll do the full synthetic change for you, no cost. And I was like, you know what, don't worry about it. Thank you for trying to address it. I did resolve my survey with Ford. Well, about a week and a half ago or so, maybe 2.5 weeks at this point, I was driving to work one day, and I'm on the freeway, and I had stepped on the accelerator slightly just to get around somebody, and I wasn't going fast. I was doing 72, and all of a sudden I heard the most horrible noise from underneath my car. And the first thing that popped into my head is, great, I busted a rod. I just shot a rod through the side of my engine block, and this car that I still owe whatever 66 payments on is toast. And that would be bad, because I don't have the money to fix it per se. So that being said, I tried to do some deductive reasoning. So I moved over a lane, I let off the accelerator, the noise started to go away, but it didn't go with engine speed. So I was like, okay, so let me try something. Dropped it into sport mode, which forced downshift. The sound didn't come back until after I exceeded 72 miles an hour. I was like, okay. So, made me figure it's something underneath the car then, because it's being affected by wind. Well, what had happened was, underneath the Ford Explorer, there are a whole bunch of different sound deadening and underbody protection panels. Some are soft, some are hard, and it looks like, whether it be through attrition, through time, whether it was during the oil change, I can't tell you for sure, but some clips are now missing. Whether they were missing before, I don't know. So I reached out to said Ford dealer 5 days ago and said, like, hey, is this something you guys would be willing to take a look at? In 10,000 miles, it never made the noise. Now it has. And here we are 5 days later, and I've heard nothing. So I decided to order the parts for myself. And we're gonna try and replace some things and see if maybe we can resolve this issue, because I have been driving for the last several weeks good old trusty Ginger Spice, which honestly has been lovely. I do love this Jeep very much, but with the fact that I average 50 miles a day just to and from work, and with the fact that the Jeep is shaped like a brick and it's a 4-cylinder, like, keeping up on the freeway can be tough, and honestly it doesn't get great fuel economy. So I am doing about 10 miles per gallon less in the Jeep than I am in the Explorer, covering the same distance. So it does start to catch over time. And if you've watched the weather at all over the course of since this issue started, it has rained in central Ohio. We went a 13-day stretch where it rained every single day. I think we're at the tail end of it now. It's actually a little bit cooler today, but yeah, so let's get underneath it. Let's pop some clips in and see if hopefully this fixes my issue. stay tuned. Alrighty, so twofold issue, or maybe a side issue that came along with this. Ever since I bought the Explorer, I noticed there was a little bit of a rattling noise from the driver's side, and I honestly always figured it was just one of these panels just a little bit loose. You know, it's plastic. Plastic does what plastic does. It rattles. But that being said, I had tried something the other day while I was underneath here, because I'd noticed they have these little clips that mount basically here and here on this underbody panel. And I noticed that the front one seemed pretty darn tight, but the one in the back was really loose. So I ordered some of these, and we're gonna try this out. It's a 12 millimeter. Will say, with the way that these were broken, basically the threads on the inside were just shot. So the way that I removed them was pretty easy. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not 100% sure as to the best way to install them. But I'm gonna try this one this way. I'm gonna try that side a different way and see perhaps which one works better. But you'll notice we have some stuff hanging down there that, how do I phrase this, ain't supposed to be hanging down. So we are gonna take a little look, replace some clips here, and hope that that fixes our problem, because I would really, really love to get back into driving the more economical Explorer. And as much as I love my Jeep, driving it in the rain with no air conditioning was a little rough. But you know, we persevered. Ginger Spice and I, we take a lot of adventures. So it's a Jeep thing. If you don't understand, it's not for you then. So let's see if we can replace some of these clips down at the bottom here and see if this fixes our problem. Alrighty, so what we have here are some holes. And basically we gotta line up our little pieces to these holes. Now this one was threaded. I cannot find a screw that fits in there. So I am really hopeful that if I can at least replace these sides, that sound goes away, because oh my gosh, it was horrible. Oh, like a glove. All right. And I will say, if this doesn't fix it, my next step is to just pull this whole piece down, because it's really frustrating. Figure while I'm here, just gotta check everything. Really wish I could have found this screw, but I had pulled
some of these out just to see, and the thread pitch is different, and I could not identify anything that had the same thread pitch. So it is what it is. We'll see how that goes. I also think I'm gonna back these out because we're super loose over here, probably from flapping in the wind for 700 miles or something along those lines. But yeah, otherwise, other than the fact that it's filthy, the undercarriage of this thing looks pretty good. So I still, even with this little hiccup, am very pleased with my Explorer. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm just gonna loosen these up really quick, tighten them back up, and we'll do a road test. Stay tuned. Alrighty. So these are a 7 mil, and I will say, with how torn up this side is, I have the utmost confidence that this is where my sound was coming from. So we're at least tighter there, but it definitely caused some unnecessary wear by running this the way that I did. So yeah, otherwise I'm just gonna try and pop this other side on really quick for that lower paneling, and then it might be tomorrow for a test drive, because coming up on rush hour, and not really the time that you want to try and be doing 70 miles an hour. So I will keep you posted. Talk to you soon. Alrighty, heading into work before dawn has cracked. So I did do a little bit of a test drive last night. Hard part is with traffic, there was just only so much I could do. Couldn't necessarily recreate the conditions because I couldn't quite get it to go fast enough. But at least on first test,
in 0.6 miles, exit right.
On first test, it seemed to do pretty good. So we're gonna see ultimately how we do, because that was massively frustrating. As for the, we'll call them side panels, sail panels, the under the seating area, in particular under the front seats, those clips, massive difference. Not hearing any rattling anymore at highway speeds, which is really, really nice, let me tell you. So I am probably 5 miles from where it all started, and really it seemed to be just the section where I'd get the crosswind the worst too. So we're gonna see. I am cautiously optimistic. All right, we're in the heart of the beast now, and trucking along at 74 miles per hour, which would have been a spot where it would have been absolutely unruly before, and nothing. It's quiet. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. I have fallen in love with this car all over again. And I bought it really out of necessity more than anything else. I'd been greatly enjoying not having a car payment, and really didn't want to take on that kind of debt, especially for something that does have the kind of miles that this does. So I'm very pleased with what we've got going on here. It makes me happy. That rattling noise that I used to hear realistically for the first 10,000 miles that I owned this, first 12,000 miles realistically that I owned this, is gone as well. And oh my goodness, it's amazing. It's like having a new car. So yeah, I will continue to monitor. I will certainly keep you posted as I get to greater speed limit roads and so forth. We'll see. See if I can push closer to 80 or so when I hit a 70 mile an hour zone. Either way, seems to have fixed the problem. So thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. I've really enjoyed taking this adventure with you. This has been an experiment for me, and I really wasn't sure where it was going to go. I see so many of you loved the Jeep video, which is awesome. That really makes me happy. I'm hoping to try and create more compelling content like that. So thank you again for everything. Our subscriber count broke 100, which I mean still is nowhere near monetization or anything along those lines, but I hope that you find me entertaining, and that's really the goal. So thanks, and I'm gonna try and keep doing what I do. I know it's been a while since the last video. Quite frankly, life just be lifing, so I'll check in. Thanks again.